In our present reality, we live and function within a matrix of dualism that is simply part of the natural structure of our experience. But in truth, this duality is an illusion. Even though we define things based on their opposites, the fundamental power in all of this is that these seeming opposites are still one. They exist relative to one another. In the classic book Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu says, "When people see some things as beautiful, other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other." Therefore, the Master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. Things arise and she lets them come. Things disappear and she lets them go. She has but does not possess, acts but doesn't expect. When her work is done, she forgets it. That is why it lasts forever. After my recent plant medicine journey, I immediately put myself on a liver and gallbladder cleanse while continuing to receive valuable insights about the gifts that I received during my psychedelic experience. Funny enough, I received more YouTube hits from that episode than all the others I've shared. It got me thinking how so many people are sincerely seeking true integration of the divine masculine and feminine aspects within themselves, as well as how to cultivate that in intimate relationships. I talk quite a lot about masculine and feminine, Shiva and Shakti, because that was what my beloved and I worked on during our lifetime together. Honestly, Shiva and Shakti are never separate forces. They are always one. And this is true of consciousness as well, in which there are two basic expressions. Simply stated, these are spotlight consciousness and floodlight consciousness. Spotlight consciousness is masculine because it is directional and focused, whereas floodlight consciousness is feminine. It's wider, more encompassing. It is, in fact, relational. These two expressions of our consciousness are crucial in understanding how to effectively set an intention in our lives. This could be an intention for anything: success, finding a companion, or even making money. But it's also true in our pursuit of spiritual enlightenment. Intention is something you want to achieve and plan to do, such as a goal, or making a plan, or even a strategy for improving your life, and hopefully benefiting others. To set an intention for your life, it is usually best to make it be about something that is genuinely empowering for your soul and your inner development. It needs to be directed towards something that you really value. The pitfalls many of us suffer when setting an intention is that we don't recognize or appreciate the value in consciously utilizing these two complementary forms of consciousness. We need both of them, the spotlight and the floodlight. Whenever you set a goal or make a decision regarding anything, you must understand that it limits other possibilities. Professor Edmond Bordeaux-Séqué once said, "An organization is the death of an idea." This is actually a profound truth, because whenever we are laser focused on a pursuit or a purpose or a goal, we're engaging in spotlight consciousness, but we generally end up closing ourselves off to the wider range of infinite possibilities. Consequently, we unknowingly limit the divine feminine creative aspect that is always available. It comes through our intuition. I think it's time we learn to embrace both the masculine and feminine in our lives, not only in relationships or health or spirituality, but also in regards to setting an intention in life. In my view, the reason people do anything at all is because they believe it's going to give them what they want. In other words, their lives will somehow manifest more satisfaction, pleasure, and fulfillment. This is why alcoholics drink and drug addicts get high, because at some level they really believe that this activity will make them feel better. Yet what goes up must come down. We live in a dualistic reality, and both sides have to be balanced, and balance is the great Tao. I'd like to pause here for a moment and thank the viewers for watching my videos. And if you find this information useful and inspiring, please consider subscribing so it lets me know to create more content like this. The modern appeal and draw for plant medicines, whether through ayahuasca, psilocybin mushrooms, or cannabis, it all comes from the same desire to access something that is not necessarily accessible through our senses or the intellect. Those of us who embrace a spiritual life sincerely want to gain higher insights, inner standings, and these can only come through directly experiencing consciousness. This is why I teach the path of primal conscious living, and especially biogenic meditation. This is a powerful form of plant medicine, though the effects are much more subtle. But when a person makes a sincere effort, what they will discover are that the benefits of biogenic meditation are far more cumulative and sustainable than using just psychedelics alone. Biogenic energy is the same thing as sexual, life force, kundalini, or chi energy. It permeates throughout the cosmos. All life comes from this primeval force. So consciously absorbing this energy daily through tactile contact with the tender blades of young grass offers profound, transformative growth. Now, if you want to learn more, be sure to watch my video entitled Biogenic Communion, as well as the guided biogenic meditation video. purgative chemicals and psychedelic substances can only offer short spurts of opening in one's consciousness, which is highly useful, but the effects are simply not sustainable unless a person does actual inner work. This includes bringing one's awareness to past core trauma, feeling it, emoting, and allowing it to pass through them. The only way to release core trauma, which is generally buried underneath the mental and psychic barriers that we've installed to cover our emotional pain, is that we must allow it to be fully assimilated by feeling and expressing it. The plant medicine enables a person to peer through this window of infinite possibilities. But like I said, they still need to do the introspective inner work. That is what I would like to discuss in this video. In my experience, this can only be done in the laboratory of the body. As I mentioned earlier, we need to access the memory of our repressed core traumas, feel them, emote them, and finally release them. I cover this process briefly in a video called Sovereignty of the Heart. In preparing this video, I have decided to go through this process myself. So whenever I want to set an intention or manifest something into my life, I start out by preparing my body. I like to do some gentle yoga stretches. This does wonders to release tension in my body, thereby causing the stuck energy to move through me. Whatever feels right to you, just do it. Get yourself into a relaxed state of mind and body. Take some time to self-nurture. Move your body and breathe deeply. Personally, I feel that stretching the legs, which is actually the foundation of the physical body, is very important. We tend to hold a lot of tension and anxiety in our hips and our legs, so begin there. Once you find yourself feeling more relaxed and centered, the next thing to do is to do some journaling. Sit down with a notebook and actually write out what you're feeling and thinking. Use this precious time to get in touch with what you want to achieve. Write down anything that you find yourself struggling with. It doesn't matter if it's physical problems or mental, emotional stuff. Just write it down. I do this practice a lot. For me, it's like talking to a counselor or a sage or a shaman. It's important to process your feelings and your thoughts in this way, especially if you want to make positive improvements in your inner and outer life. After you've dumped out your thoughts, try to write down one sentence that clearly expresses what you want to manifest in your life. You have to think about it. You have to feel it. Feel it as deeply and as authentically as you can, and then hold that thought in your mind. After you've gone through this part of the journey, now it's time to sit with a biogenic battery. You can do this 2 or 3 times a day if you'd like, consciously absorbing the life-generating energy directly into your body, allowing it to fill you with precious, life force, creative energy. Just sit comfortably and make tactile contact with the blades of grass as you focus your intention. This is where you go into your masculine spotlight consciousness. Think about what it is you want to do, and clearly state your intention silently. Do this while you're holding the tender blades of grass. Imagine what it is that you desire. In your mind, embrace it as reality. Allow yourself time to consider all the things you can do in your life right now to move forward toward that goal. You can see why journaling is so valuable. Over the next few days, just keep working with this process, writing down any and all ideas and feelings and thoughts that come to you, and then returning to your biogenic battery. Consider as many ways that you can think of on how to realize your dream. Then, when you have concluded that session, you'll want to move into the feminine aspect. In other words, open yourself to floodlight consciousness. The way you do this is by simply widening your awareness and your attention towards your present environment. I find that it's best to just go outside and move about slowly, mindfully opening up your senses to nature, sensing, looking, and listening. Here is the time when you let go of thinking about your intention, not focusing on anything in particular, but instead softening your mind, your body, and your gaze. Gently open yourself to whatever is unfolding in the present moment. Be like a child without an agenda. Just embrace natural curiosity and wonder. You can either sit or walk and commune with the earthly mother in this way, allowing yourself to feel the living current inside of you. At this point, you will be filled with the biogenic life force energy. This is the holy plant medicine that the wheatgrass, offers to you. This feminine phase is crucial because it is how the flow of infinite possibilities from your higher spirit enters into your consciousness. Floodlight consciousness is absolutely necessary here because it's part of the natural time of resting in the feminine, which always comes after the sacred love play between the creative power of the union of Shiva and Shakti. This phase of rest is extremely important for anyone using any kind of plant medicine to heal themselves of emotional trauma and pain. I have found that the plant goddess does this during each journey. She causes the repressed demons to come to the surface in order to be reintegrated, felt, and expressed. I feel this is why natural purgative effects are part of the process. In summary, I'd like to encourage you to try this simple form of plant medicine, along with whatever spiritual disciplines and practices that you already engage in. Realize it doesn't require you changing your present beliefs at all. Simply open to what is already within you. I want to conclude with another passage from the Tao Te Ching. The Tao can't be perceived. Smaller than an electron, it contains uncountable galaxies. If powerful men and women could remain centered in the Tao, all things would be in harmony. The world would become a paradise. All people would be at peace, and the law would be written in their hearts. When you have names and forms, know that they are provisional. When you have institutions, know where their functions should end. Knowing when to stop, you can avoid any danger. All things end in the Tao, as rivers flow into the sea.